Brian, how is it going, buddy?
Man, what is up? It is a good day. It is a good night, and it's always the perfect time for a quickie. I am doing well, my friend.
I am getting ready for Creed.
Dude, dude. I watched one and two today just to, get and just I've seen two a few times.
hmm
It's been quite a while since I saw the original, and it holds up. I mean,
hmm
and just I love the dynamic between Adonis and Balboa. And I'm really curious what it's going to be like without Balboa in three. I'm really curious what that's going to be like.
Yeah, no, he's doing a Rocky, isn't he?
I think so. I
Okay.
think that's what's up. But he is not in Creed 3, which we shall see.
Mm.
Personally, I'm kind of hoping somehow Tessa Thompson rides in on like a Pegasus to help him out in a fight. That's what I kind of hope. I mean, when you look at this, I mean, you have that great Marvel overlap. You have Killmonger,
hmm
Valkyrie, and Kang. I mean, just
Oh,
gotta,
damn. I didn't
yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah, so
Huh.
it's just very interesting how how again Marvel's taking over the universe and that all those things kind of link up. Yeah.
Right? Oh, man. Well, with that, let's go into the music. Welcome to the Fandemic Quickie. This is a podcast with us just nerding out on a specific topic for about 30 minutes or
Yes,
less
sir. Yes, sir.
with people I may or may not know. However, I know this gentleman very well. We've been podcast partners for, man, like a year and a half now,
Getting
probably.
getting close to a year and a half at this point, my
Yeah,
friend.
man. So we're just gonna level up our awesome and I'm the self-proclaimed emperor of awesome Bradley Butin, and this is
Brian S. Dennis, where the S stands for this is the way.
yes, it is. And Brian, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Mandalorian, and we're talking about the season 3 premiere episode. So we are streaming on March 1st, 2023. So Mandalorian dropped a
Mhm.
few hours ago. I don't know about you, Brad, but I made it a point at the very wee hours of today to watch. I've now watched it, I think, 3 times.
Mhm.
So to get my Mando fix has been a long time,
Mhm.
but now we are back. And again, somehow, magically, he's healed from a knife wound to the gut. He's gotten past the infected. He somehow lost, Bella, but has found Grogu. And again, we are here to learn about Jin Dardarian, aka Pablo Pascal, aka Joel, in The Mandalorian.
You know, Pedro Pascal has to be having a freaking amazing year.
Yes.
I mean, 2023 has to be the year of Pedro Pascal.
I mean, how is he not gonna? His bank account's got to be loving it,
Oh
but
God.
he again shows, and we've talked about this a few different times in the podcast, because we do a podcast about basically the majority of our stuff is superhero, fantasy, comic
Mhm.
book related stuff, but we've seen growing more and more, which I personally love. We're seeing movies and television shows that may be set in the world of the fantastic, but are just really good movies, really good television show. We talked about it
Yeah.
with Logan. We talked about it with Wakanda Forever. We can talk about it with Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us is right there. I swear, like every week, it's gonna make me cry somehow,
Right?
somehow,
Yeah.
somehow. I kind of like, why can't they just have people get eaten? That's what I
I know.
want.
I know.
You know.
It's like Last of Us is what I think Walking Dead wanted to be but lost its way.
Yeah, last
You know.
yeah. Around season 6 or 7, it totally jumped the shark,
Yeah.
and we lost some of the humanity. And now in a world that took place a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we again are seeing again just to play out of a well-written, well-acted series
Mhm.
of our universe's favorite single dad, the Mandalorian.
Yeah, and we're going to throw this banner up here for the entirety
Absolutely.
of the show because we are going to be
Absolutely.
talking Mandalorian season 1 or season 3, episode 1.
Yes,
And
sir.
this just came out today. So if you
Yep.
have not watched it, one,
What you been
why?
doing? What you been
Right.
doing?
I mean,
Now,
you're at
it
3.
dropped at least 16 hours ago. What have you been doing?
Yeah. I mean, like
Working, sleeping, spending time with your family? Why?
yeah, I mean, look, Mandalorian's on. Well, get
You
your
know, Brad,
priorities, man.
maybe what they did, to be fair, is maybe they got distracted because they looked under the bed. They found that box. They slowly pulled it out.
It's made of Beskar.
Yeah. This is talk about a dark saber. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well
Yeah.
done.
I think my mom had a dark saber. She called it Tyrone. Anyway, childhood trauma, my friend.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. Back to the Mandalorian, sir.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and I watched it twice. You got 3 times, so go ahead and tell us. Let's talk about the show. Let's go through it. Let's hit all the cliff notes on it. We're gonna spoil it, so
Yep. So again, there will be spoilers. We'll try not to get too many so you can say, but you know what? Having watched it now again 3 times, even knowing what's going to be encapsulated, there's lots of little things that you can find. So first off, we got to really see the ceremony of someone joining joining the Mandalorians. And
I thought that was a flashback at first.
I did. I was just you took the words right out of my mouth. The little kid looked like a mini Mando. The helmet would look so much like Mando's.
Yeah.
And the benefit of with everyone wearing the armor is really there's no like facial tells of when it is. So it totally looked like again a flashback until I don't know if that was the Kraken or whatever came out of the ocean, but at the end of the day, who comes in? Our boy Mando.
Yeah, so like that scene, well, for one, the kid reminded me of the kid that played Boba Fett in Revenge of the Sith.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
And then the monster really reminded me of just a bearded dragon that they made big.
Fair. That is fair. Or like if the sea monkeys just get out of control.
Right. By
the way, in my fan cast of the apocalypse, it won't be zombies. It won't be some weird fungus. It won't be vampires. It won't be werewolves. It's got to be sea monkeys.
I feel like there's a story there that we can develop.
Like if we drop like enough sea monkeys like into the Atlantic Ocean, they may take over. Dude,
let's you know what? We're gonna workshop this.
Yes.
This is gonna be a special episode of
the planet of the sea monkeys.
Right. Like, yes, man. Oh, dude, I love this idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm actually gonna write this down.
Somehow Brendan Fraser will save us. I don't know why, but in my head, Brendan Fraser is the one that can save us from the sea monkeys. Yeah.
Sea monkeys from hell.
Yes.
Awesome.
But you know what? Aren't they all though? I mean, anything you can get, 40 for a quarter. I like to think they're from hell. Sea monkeys, ramen, oodles and noodles, whatever. All of it's from hell. Man,
I got Leia one of those gigantic jawbreakers today. And gave it to I hadn't seen one in years. They had one at one of the Hy-Vees here in town.
Yeah.
The big one here in Ankeny. And I was like, what? I mean, I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm like, so I got it for her. It was only $2. I was like,
is she okay?
She gave up after like 5 minutes. She's like, she was confused on how to eat
to approach it. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
By the way, you've not lived until you got around with your friends and taken either the atomic fireball or the old school red hot like gel candies. And let's see how many and for how long can you keep in your mouth? Which is why I think I can eat spicy food now, because I think I killed all my taste buds between the 80s of like 6 and 14. So just you can give me battery acid now, like, oh, little tangy,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was battery acid was in candy form back in our day.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
and
or
we washed it down with Jolt soda.
oh god, I mixed Mentos and Jolt once. It blew my mind. Like literally, I was shaking. I don't think a human body is meant to ingest that much raw sugar and caffeine at one time. I was seriously, I could see time. Like it was just the most. What? Where is this? Yeah. At that
Right.
point, I really did break through the fourth wall. Like I don't know where I went, but I was in the sunken place. It was just weird.
Mm,
So yeah.
I
So
dig
I
it.
do not recommend doing Mentos and Jolt.
I I would like some Mentos and Jolt, please.
Yeah, that's that one. We live in a state that you can't buy Sudafed over the counter. I think you should not be allowed to buy Mentos and Jolt over the counter either, because you're up to something. You're up to something.
That's probably going to be the episode title, by the way.
I love
Mentos
it.
and Jolt.
And Mentos and Joe. All right. So we get our boy Mando making a great entrance, and I love the entrance of he comes in, he saves the Mandalorians, and then as he lands, of course, popping out the back of the cruiser is our buddy Grogu. Like any typical kid, we're both parents. When you've had that kid in the car seat, you thought they were asleep, you get ready to park, and then they go, "I'm wide awake. What's happening?" And they do a good job of really showing more of that
Mm.
paternal dynamic in the show
Mm.
between Mando and Grogu, which is there. And speaking of Creed, well, we had Apollo in
Mm.
this, so it all begins to make sense. So
Yeah. Yeah, and the Navarro's kind of turned around a little bit. It's on its uphill like it has been in the
I'm a
last
big
season.
fan of Dave Navarro, though. Excellent guitar player.
Oh,
Excellent
absolutely,
guitar
man.
player.
Red
Yes.
Hot Chili Peppers or Alice in Chains or Solo.
Chili Peppers.
I agree, man. I definitely agree. I mean, like, yeah,
I
and
was not a big Alice in Chains fan. I'll take him either solo or in that tattoo reality show he has.
yeah,
Uh,
Alice in
I couldn't go with
Chains.
Alice in Chains. I don't know what it
I,
was. It
I
just couldn't.
Yeah, I like the old stuff, like Man in the Box, but like,
Sure.
and then like Dirt was okay,
Yeah.
and then like then I don't know. I like after Lane Stanley died, I haven't
It just
gotten into it.
wasn't. Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel you. You just lose
yeah,
something, go, well, and we're moving forward.
right.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, in the 90s, your boy, as a black child in the South, was rolling up some Alice in Chains. That's why I know all the things. So, got a question for you, sir.
Mhm.
As I was watching again, my silly nerd brain. So we're on Navarro, the planet Navarro,
Mhm.
and again we've got the High Chancellor,
Yeah,
Apollo Creed, and then we have the pirates. Now that with Disney owning the world at this point, when you look at the pirates, did you get any Ravager vibes?
I did.
Thank you.
I
I don't think that was
absolutely did.
accidental. I do not think that was accidental. So,
Yeah.
Bradley, is it possible that the Ravagers would have existed a long, long time ago? And for people that don't know this, Star Wars happens in our past.
Mhm.
Happens in our past. Could it possibly be that the Ravagers exist? So could we? And I know this is probably way too far, but could you imagine a Guardians Star Wars mashup? Like, is there any? I would love that crossover.
I would too. I mean, even if because then you could bring in the collector, and the collector has
Yes,
some lightsabers or like
yes.
dark sabers. Oh, dude, yeah, yeah.
And let's be honest, especially with its portrayal of Star Lord, that is a Han Solo ripoff. That is,
Oh yeah.
or at least play an homage
Hmm.
to Han Solo. I mean, that everything about that is Han Solo. So I
Yeah.
just thought when I'm sitting there looking at the pirates and going, that is so close. And again, things like that aren't accidental,
Hmm.
right? Something are they just wanting us to feel some Ravager vibes or whatever, as well as the pirate Gordon Shard looked like Swiss Shard. So I just was like, huh, interesting. Interesting. He
Yeah,
made me want a salad. I really was wanting a salad.
I agree, man. So Christopher Lloyd. Lloyd's name. So like they didn't really. I couldn't find all the people in there, but
Okay.
Christopher Lloyd's is on the IMDb for season
And that
3
and,
episode. I
and Doc
don't
Brown,
know.
Christopher Lloyd, not another Christopher Lloyd. It's Doc
Right.
Brown, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, but like they didn't have like any name by it or anything for
Sure.
episode 1, so I'm not 100% sure. But I was
Okay.
trying to figure out where that this was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they worked in some people in as the pirates and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we did get a couple little cameos in there. Like we got the Bobo Freak.
Yes.
Was it? Do you think it was him or was it a species?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna go species. But that by itself was really good. I think I'm trying to find what because then you got me thinking. So a lot of the articles that I'm finding again basically are citing what you said with Christopher Lloyd, why his name dropped in the cast. They're not sure what role he played. So, in fact, the most recent one I'm showing that this came out a few hours ago is that his role has yet to be revealed. So we're not sure if again maybe it was a voice acting or what have you. But think about it though. Since the with the power of the flux capacitor and the ability to go back in time, wouldn't it be great if Doc Brown just showed up?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
In the saloon that used to be a school, a school that used to be a saloon.
Yeah.
Because if he takes like one drink of alcohol, he like passes out. So yeah, that's that again. This Disney just give us all the intersecting storylines
all the
that
toys.
we make in our heads all the time. Just give it to us on screen. Just give us the candy that Daddy likes. That's what we're asking for.
Yes,
that's
please.
what we're asking for. Yes, please.
All right, so we got Baba Freak. We Mando is getting ready to take a road trip.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Where is Mando trying to go and why?
Mando is trying to get to the Mandalorian homeworld, where while he has found the way, he has lost his honor because he willingly took off his mask, his helmet, so he needs to bathe in the living waters. Which again, I don't know if I want to bathe in living water. That to me sounds icky.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like there's maybe things in the water with him. By the way, does he take off his helmet when he gets in the water? Because that kind of defeats the purpose.
I was wondering that too. I'm like, okay,
because Beskar looks kind of heavy. Like I don't know if he can like float.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, since Iron Man asked this question, why don't we ask this question on the Mandalorians? How do they go to the bathroom in the suits?
Oh, just like that.
I was gonna say carefully, but but yes, he's going to again based on Mandalorian creed. If he goes back to the homeworld, which appears to be poisoned, if he finds his way back to the homeworld and bathes in what they call the living waters, and he has his honor restored, and he can rejoin the cult, the group, the way of the Mandalorian.
But and here's one of my things that I didn't like about it is I don't want him to.
You like him kind of the apostate, right? Him being outside, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, him being with them all serves no purpose. He's got Grogu.
Yeah,
he's fulfilled his mission. I mean, the armor's awesome, and the actress is fantastic in it.
Yeah.
Trying to take the little lizard with her hammer, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, like,
and as always, be careful using the hammer with the little lizard. All right,
especially if you're going under your parents' bed.
And slowly. I don't know why it's always slowly, but slowly.
It might want to go a little quicker.
Right.
Shake it up.
Your parents are coming down the hall. Speed it up a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah. Yes, I worked in a Taylor Swift song into that.
Hey, haters gonna hate, breakers gonna break.
Yep.
And I guess shaker's gonna shake. All right, move forward.
No.
Yeah. It's always fun till somebody brings up One Night Willie. But he's going to.
We're talking about Goonies.
Yes, we are talking about Goonies. So his quest is to basically have his honor restored, so he can be a Mandarin in full glory again. I agree with you. I kind of like him on the outside looking, and primarily because he's such a badass character.
Mhm.
It kind of weakens him to want to join back up. I mean, you're right. He's got Grogu. He's got the ship. He's, got the armor. There's really no benefit of his. And I personally was wanting him to do this, and I felt this was very non-Mando character. Was remember when he does save everyone when he shows up, when he walks into the building where the armor is standing. First off, they knew he took out. She knew he had taken out the helmet. So I'm got why are we doing this, right?
Yeah.
But she also basically makes it feel unwelcome. I wanted Mando in that moment to go, "You accepted my help. I just saved everybody, but you're still turning me away." Like I wanted that moment where he
Yeah.
goes, basically, "I don't need this."
Right.
Because they already have issues with Grogu. He could just leave, and
Mhm.
then I like that idea of him being a man apart.
Mhm.
Really, again, back to the Western, almost samurai-ish
Mhm.
nature that he has of really the only person that he really cares about is Grogu, and
Yeah.
having that very solitary existence, and honestly just trying to keep Grogu out of trouble. They did a great job this episode of really playing up that father-child relationship
Yeah.
between Mando and Grogu, because this Grogu is getting into stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him spinning around in the High Magistrate's chair, trying to eat the droid smiths, or okay, he goes playing. Well, we seen where Grogu eats. Grogu was hungry,
Mhm.
and Grogu was looking for a snack. Yeah.
So, would you rather Mando fight Bo-Katan Kryze,
Okay.
or would you rather Bo-Katan Kryze fight the armor?
No, Mando and Bo-Katan Kryze. That's
Okay.
that's what I want.
You really, man, I kind of want them to work together.
No, no. I partly because again, I like him not having long-term allies, and I also think that
Yeah.
if they had them team up, then they're gonna almost have to wedge in a love story. I
Mhm.
think that would be almost what people would expect.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
that you have to do that. Again, I think having him be more of, again, that lone samurai, that lone gunman, just really almost living like the life of a monk, I think is just what I personally want to see. Because I think that's when it's his best, is when he basically is defending Grogu
Mhm.
against the world, and it really is again him and his kid.
Mhm.
My main criticism of it was episode 1, though, was just too damn short.
It was.
It was 37 minutes
Mhm.
when looking at previous seasons, the shortest, and Mando has always had some various runtime.
Mhm.
But when I look back at seasons 1 and 2, there were no episodes that were shorter than like 47 minutes.
Mhm.
So they gave us 10 fewer minutes, and they also only gave us one episode.
Mhm.
And I knew, like, okay, you got to be dropping 2, right? And the fact that they only dropped 1, and it was a hair over a half hour, just, it whetted my appetite. It's still a great show. I can't wait until
Yeah.
next week, which maybe that was the point. But I did feel a little like, you could have gave me more.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to get in that too here in a minute or two as
Sure.
well, like
Sure.
about rating it and everything like that, because I'm with you, man. I don't think like as amazing as Mandalorian is, and even this episode,
Yeah.
it did not it's not a full 5 beardy for me.
No, because because honestly, the ending came kind of abruptly, and again, there will be
Mhm.
spoilers where he goes to Navarro. They have the great moment between him and the High Magistrate. They do the work with IG-11, do all these things to really set up like what's coming next. He goes, talks to Bo-Katan, and then just kind of walks out.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I wanted they did name drop Gideon a couple
Yep.
times, so
Yep.
we know that's gonna come, right?
Right.
But I wanted to see where just something to tell me where the season is gonna go, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yes, we know they're going to Mandalore. Yes,
Yep.
we know that. I mean, that was set up in the last season.
Sure.
We know, or Book of Boba Fett. So Where do you think this season is going to go? Like, do you think? What do you think you're hoping for the rest of the season?
I'm hoping what we want. So I'm hoping that we see through Grogu, if I can talk this
Mhm.
evening. I want them to bring back more aspects of the Force, right? I really hope we get a little more. I would love to see another member of Grogu's race, still unnamed
Mhm.
race.
Mhm.
I would love to see Grogu have something that kind of pulls at him. So I really think every season of Mandalorian should include something where either Mando's life or Grogu's life pulls them apart, right? Because that's the relationship that we all care about. We're not hankering for a love story with Mando. We're not, but what we do want to see is something try and pull that relationship apart where again either Grogu goes off and truly develops his abilities, or we see the two of them fighting to stay together. Really, again, at this point, father son. I want something that pulls at that. And I think if we again delve more into the Force, again, you have again the Yodel Yazzles and all the other members of that race maybe offering to train Grogu. Grogu have those things that really pull. Because remember, in all the years of Star Trek, wow, of all the years of Star Wars, we've only seen three members of
Mhm.
Yoda's race: Yoda, Yazzle, and now Grogu.
Yeah,
So obviously, there's
and two are
more of
dead.
this. Yeah, and two are dead.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Um, so the idea would be unless we're to believe that he's the last member of the species, which again, since Yoda and Yazzle are not his biological parents, where did his parents go?
Yeah.
I want that. I want them to give me some more of that. I really want a dark saber battle at some point.
Mhm.
And I just feel like what they gave us with the pirates, we're gonna see more and more of that expand and
Mhm.
just give us that big bad. And the last one, I want to see Bo-Katan just totally go evil. Like I want to turn. I want that to be what happens next, which is why I'm really not pulling for them to work together
Gotcha.
because I want that. I want that battle. I want that fight. And again, at the end of the season, maybe he has the ability to be forgiven and
Mhm.
join back up, and he does it because for him, his way is saving Grogu, and that he can't follow the way of the Mandalorian and be there for Grogu, and he chooses Grogu. That's what I want.
I like that. I like that a lot. So I do think we are gonna get more lightsabers in this.
Yep.
I really do. And I think maybe come through. I think we're gonna find out who saved Grogu
Yeah.
from Order 66.
And it better not be Jar Jar.
I actually have a theory.
Okay. Is the theory you want to share? Or you want to wait a few
Yeah.
episodes?
Oh yeah. I'll share it now, and we can
Okay.
come back.
Sure.
Quinlan Voss.
Huh.
Quinlan Voss, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is a friend. He's a good friend of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He
Sure.
left the Order before Order
Yeah.
66.
Yeah.
He was an awesome fighter. He also was romantically tied to Asajj Ventress,
Yeah.
and he's running the Force sensitives away from the Empire.
Okay. All right.
And I think that'd be a kind of a cool, because he was mentioned in the Kenobi show.
Yep.
So I mean, I know takes place way after that, but he's, I think that we're gonna either meet Quinlan or something like that. um I think that we will get some good lightsaber battles. I think we are gonna lead this season is gonna lead at least to the start of the First Order.
Okay, which would make sense. I think at this point now, with 3 seasons in, it's time to again, like I said, make that bridge and
Yeah.
give us the First Order. It is
Yep.
time, and possibly, do we maybe get? Part of me goes, do we get at least an inkling of Palpatine, or do we get like an inkling of family of that he's still again there? Like part of me goes, one thing that they've done a great job of in the show is they really made the big bads much scaled down, which I kind of like. But part of me goes, but this is still Star Wars, right? So we
Right.
can't go so far without the Force. They've done with shows like Mando, like Book of Boba Fett, like really only one of their series that you spend a lot of time talking about the Force is Obi-Wan because it's Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe again you get a little bit more into that again because you have a very force sensitive child, for like a 50-year-old, 53-year-old now, I guess, child. I would like to see them maybe delve more into the dark side of the Force as well. Not a lot, because again, this isn't that show, right? That's Obi-Wan's world. But give us or part of the universe. But give us a little something. I think that would make a lot of us happy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Snoke. I think that Snoke is definitely a possibility, and I think we're gonna get Kylo Ren's name dropped because at this time he's still Ben Solo.
Right.
So that turn will happen sometime. At least sometime coming up. So I mean, like right now, Luke has his established Jedi.
Yep.
So I mean, like that's going on right now. So there are Jedi in the world. So I mean, it'll be interesting. I really want to see
Snoke. We can find out why no one ever gave him some moisturizer. Because I seen all the Snoke needed. There's a little exfoliation, a little cocoa, a little shea butter. Just to. He looks dry. So he looks like a dry guy.
Fun fact about Snoke: I'm just getting ready to record episode 7 for a Lone Star here. I'll probably do it tomorrow. And do some fun facts, which, by the way, Lone Star episode 1 will be hitting the Fandemic feed tomorrow morning at 11:11.
Okay.
But Snoke was actually supposed to be a woman.
Really?
And then they made it the model. The model of Snoke is actually modeled after Tarkin.
Really?
And look at Snoke.
Okay.
Look at Snoke, and every time now you will see Grand Moff Tarkin. Yeah.
Dude.
Right? I don't believe I never realized that.
Yeah, it's so clear when I'm looking at it now. It's like,
yeah. Snoke is Tarkin. I mean, like,
yeah. Also, I see on Etsy you can get a Markin figurine for $4. So hey, okay. Just the thing. So anyone's out there looking for a collectible, go to Etsy. All right. Looks like in pretty good condition too. Okay. Wow, that was and I'll never unsee that because right, once you see it, it just stares you in the face. Like, okay, yeah.
But I would love to see a First Order show. Where with Snoke or whatever,
right,
leading up to like the fall of Kylo Ren or I think something like that was cool. And I honestly I think we could get that. I think something like that would happen.
Do you think we'll get an Adam Driver just cameo at some point?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Are you not an Adam Driver fan? That the fate of.
Actually, no. I'm just the opposite. I think Adam Driver was the best part of the sequel series.
Okay, all right.
Like Adam Driver was the best part of that.
Yeah, I kind of they lost me with Rey with wedging the whole Palpatine. Again, spoiler if you've not caught this part. But when the minute they did the whole wedging of Rey as Rey Palpatine, I was like,
yeah. So funny thing about that, I called the ending of Rise of Skywalker years before it happened.
Nice.
I did it on a podcast. I did it during Nerd Church Radio, the first podcast that I ever did. We were talking, and it was right after episode 7 came out.
Okay.
I called the ending of Rise of Skywalker.
Love it.
I need to go back and find it just to, and repurpose it or something. But yeah, anyway.
Dude, we've had a couple of those where we kind of predict what's going to happen when we show our clairvoyance. And again, pulling that, I mean, again, you're more of a Star Wars fan than I am. And again, yeah, again, the whole Palpatine thing, it didn't jump the shark, but it definitely kind of sat out there a little bit. Like, yeah, really? Okay. Right. Yeah.
So, Brian.
Sir.
High point, low point of the episode.
Absolutely high point, and I don't know why. For me, the high point was well, I mean, low point. Okay, high point would be just when they're on Navarro and you get to see the High Chancellor and Mando there together, and they just shut down the pirates. I really like that kind of that moment of broness that happened. Low point, while it was super sweet and endearing, I also realized when you have a 37-minute show, it took up time that could have been ready for other things. When he's showing Grogu how to drive, that to me was just like, if you gave me a 45-minute episode, perfect, perfect. But when you give me 37 minutes and probably 3 minutes of that, which 3 minutes out of 37, I think it's a significant amount of time. Was him showing Grogu how to fly the ship, which again was very sweet. But it also could have been repurposed for something else in the episode. So that's a low point for me.
Yeah, man. So my high point, I would actually probably say the very, very beginning, the
that
induction of
the
induction of the youngling. I guess not the young. What do they call them? The founder, the founding.
I think foundlings or what.
Foundling, something like that. And then I think my low point, I think you're probably right. The whole small ship thing, he needs a bigger ship. He really, really does.
Yeah, this logistically that does not look comfortable. There's no sleeping quarters. Like,
right.
What do you do there, right?
Right, so there's no cup holders. I mean,
right. I mean, does he just fly nonstop, or does he have to land? Yeah,
yeah, man. So because he had the Razor Crest, and he walked around in that. I mean, that was and here he can just sit with Grogu and back on. Yeah, it looks cool, but like with the way that that Mandalorian is structured, it just. He goes all over the place.
That's meant to be a mission ship, not his primary vehicle, right?
Right. So it'd be really cool if he had a bigger ship, and then when the pirates would come, he would just hop in the other ship and go out, kick everybody's ass, come back and go.
But a bigger ship also leads to then he need a crew, and again they're trying to keep him still with a very, very small circle. But again, we need to just think a little bit more about that. So Star Wars, we know you're watching. We know we got to get Mando a better ship. You got to get Mando a better ship. At least it's his primary base of operations.
Right.
Then he can zoom around whatever he wants to.
Right. All right. So it's time to rate Episode 1.
So we have a score of 1 to 5. And I gotta say, the things that kept from being a 5 will be the shortened length. I think unnecessarily wedging in a couple, father-son moments that felt more wedged and authentic. And again, just making him somewhat at the beck and call of the armorer and the rest of the Mandalorians, even though they needed him so much at the beginning. That's going to take me down to 4.25 beards.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I'm pretty close to you. I'm going to give this 4 beardies. I'm going to give this not even a Chris Stapleton beard. I'm going to give this a Kurt Russell really good mustache.
But are we talking the Hateful Eight mustache where he could twirl it? I mean, we're talking that might be damn near Stapleton area.
I'm talking Tombstone Kurt Russell.
Okay. All right.
So it's epic still.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm gonna watch it. But yeah, it just didn't grab me the way that I wanted it to grab me. So, but saying that, it's still amazing. You know.
I feel you. I feel you. So, while he may not be Chris Stapleton, we are going to say he's Ego the Living Planet. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
Awesome.
fair. All right, sir.
Well, Brian.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was going to say, I think we reached our max level of awesomeness for our quickie. So,
yeah. So you, where can we find you, bud?
As always, you can find me on Facebook, Brian Stephen Dennis on Facebook. Give me a like, give me a follow. I always try and keep it somewhat entertaining and fun on my Facebook feed. And if you got anything that's Winnie the Pooh related, I will bring it on, talk about it, and probably destroy it. So feel free to jump on for the ride.
You can tweet at me at Fandemic3, message me on Facebook at The Fandemic, and also active on TikTok. If you want to support the show, there are several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Fandemic, and Brian and I will either toast you or roast you or probably both on the next episode. You can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PVOTN Fandemic. Become an episode assistant, episode producer, a prevenge producer like Stacy, or become part of the con. Yes, you could be part of the Council of Nerds starting at $5 a month. You can go to PayPal or Venmo at Bradley Butin if you really want to, or just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to keep the conversation alive in the comments.
Always.
Also, don't forget to check out a Lone Star Review. If you subscribe to this show, you're going to get this automatically in your feed. Starting this week, you should be getting at least 3 episodes a week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A little bit of something for everybody. On Wednesdays, Prevenge of the Nerds, the show that you love, Brian and I. On Thursday, you're going to get a little bit of a Lone Star. That's just me going over going over 1-star reviews. Right now, I'm working my way through Star Wars, the greatest saga that has ever happened. And Fridays, it's Fandemic Friday. All episodes drop at 11:11 a.m. So, Brian,
sir,
what are your words of wisdom?
My words of wisdom always is the first I'll say thank you. We appreciate you joining us for our quickie, for our really fast 30 minutes, and for being part of our day and leveling up. You're awesome. So with that, please, ladies and gentlemen of the Nerdverse, continue to listen, continue to like and subscribe. Remember that never give up, never surrender, and Goonies, never say die.
We're all playing the same game in life, just on a different level. Thanks for catching up. You're welcome for leveling up. You're awesome. Live free or die empty. If you think about it, every time you feel stupid, you just got a little smarter. Squirrels' cheeks are also their nut sacks.
Boom.
Have a good day.